So I often get asked as a rapper slash producer, what is the hardest thing for me, like as a, or what is the hardest thing that you've noticed that most people have a problem with, be it artists, producers, and whatnot. Like, and the hardest thing I would say is getting started. Like, I don't know if you have noticed whereby like just start the damn project already. Most people are just there sitting there like hey, they're watching thousands of tutorials, just watching tutorial after tutorial after video after video after video, and not being actually being productive, but just like procrastinating, like okay, I want to do this, but they never actually getting to do it. I mean, and the truth is, once you start it, it's actually easier than you think. I mean, the hardest thing for most people, and for I also had this problem was like just getting started, like just put your hand on that pad and like write the first line and see where it will lead you from there, or just play the first melody and just start producing. A lot of people actually are still stuck at that phase whereby they're still waiting for the best time to start or the most amazing time to start. Like, and starting is really where it all begins, and until you start that project, it will never be the best project. You understand? Like, what you're preparing for something that you might never actually start. So it's better you start and figure it out along the way, and you need to humble yourself and not approach your music or your craft as I'm about to create the greatest masterpiece of all time that everyone will like, but approach it with okay, let me just convey this emotion right now, and maybe some people will connect with it on maybe they won't, but let me just convey this thought in this way. Yeah, take the pressure off. I feel like people put so much pressure on themselves to the extent whereby it's like they end up having performance anxiety or something. Yeah. So it's all about take the stress off and just be you. And I'm thinking like if you really want to be really the most comfortable, like approach a project with the mindset of okay, I'm making this just for me and I will not release this. You just because you know no one else will ever like maybe even see that, you actually approach it with a more honest approach, with a more unbiased and judged approach, whereby you just get to be comfortably you and get to do certain things that you wouldn't have done knowing that okay, the world might get to hear this, because to a certain extent we all give a shit about what people actually might think of our art, and as an artist or creative we are most vulnerable when we like people listen to our stuff and we're like to a certain level, everyone gives a shit about other people's opinion. Like, what will the world think of this? You know what I mean? Although, like, we actually like with time get to how like build up thick skin from all the hate comments that we receive over the time and whatnot. But when we are just starting, when artists just starting, we're just getting creatively started. They are most vulnerable, like to other people's opinions. Like, okay. Even like I mean, everyone thinks that everything, you know, when people think that your stuff is shit, you feel really bad. Like, or you put out a song and you just like this dopamine thing whereby you're waiting for the next response, maybe like a comment, and people tell you how great that is, that thing. But I mean, that's something that you have to work past it with time and be comfortable just being yourself, and also figure out what works for you. If working in solitude works for you, or working with a team. So you decide. For me, working alone just does that, because I like being in a place where I'm just alone, unjudged, and I wanna be comfortable making my errors, making my mistakes. Yeah, just being me. So mostly when I'm producing, I'm just alone, and writing just alone, just in the zone, in the mood, and just doing what I gotta do to get the project out. So number one thing, just get started. Don't think of like writing the greatest song. Well, I feel like most of the greatest songs that we have ever actually heard when the artists were being interviewed, most of them just said they gave the most random stories ever. Yeah, like I remember watching this interview when DMX was talking about how he wrote what was that Rough Riders. Like he wrote that, it was like I wrote that in like I wrote that real quick, and it wasn't even like my best verse ever, but it went international. Like so, it's not about how much time you spent on the project, but how it gets, or like how much time you spend on it doesn't actually determine how it will be received by people. By talking, maybe if you spend, maybe like production might have certain like artist benefits to the listener when the productions are in, but most of like it's all about just being truthful to yourself and getting other ideas out there, and that's how you learn mostly. So experience. You won't get that experience until you get started. So be comfortable failing and be comfortable failing. Not only then will you actually be able to grow and get better with your craft. So don't worry about how is this gonna end. So just start it. When it's done, if it's either it's good or it's bad, you love it or you hate it. So and then when it's done, just move on from it, learn from that mistake, whatever mistakes you made. Listen to that and say, okay, I did that. Instead of just like trying to be perfectionist and working like going back to work on the same thing, leave that alone and just work on something else. Just keep that in mind. Okay, I messed that up there. In the next project, maybe do that. Then when you like reach the second project, by the time you're at the 40th or 5th or whatever, 100 project number 100, you realize you come back to play the first one and listen to the verses, and you might almost likely cringe like hell, like, oh, did I do that? And that growth will not happen until you actually start taking the risk or the steps to actually fail. Be comfortable failing, is what I'm trying to say. Be comfortable, because that's the only way you're gonna learn and grow. Yeah. And just start the damn project already. Just start. Don't wait for whatever, some miracle or some sign for the stars to align a certain way, an eclipse, for you to know that okay, it's time for me to start making. No, you don't do that. Stay on your grind. Thank you very much for watching the video. My name is Omandi Simkala. Subscribe, like, share, and I'm out.